This is Dankwa, and I'm here to show you how to work with Solana Pay. What is Solana Pay? Yeah, let's go to the doc. Get instant settlement with near zero fees. Why am I doing this in Sierra Leone, the country that I'm from? There are less payment systems, and I know that with Solana Pay you'll be able to build systems that will hit this challenge. It's actually quite hard to fix, but yeah, I trust the guys that are doing it. I trust the Mocha guys, I trust the Solana Pay guys. I hope they actually solve this issue. So let's go to the video. What is Solana Pay? Solana Pay is a payment system for Solana Pay. So there is another way. It's one of the easier way to receive payment. It's called Helio. We'll circle around this and make a tutorial on this as well, that if you guys want me to do so you can leave that on the comment, and then we can see how I can do a tutorial on Helio. But let's go to the docs for Solana Pay. So if you see, we have the getting started. These are the list of things that we need to have tiny bit of knowledge on to be able to implement this out of the box. So yeah, so these are the specification of this documentation. So let's go to creating a transaction, because that is what we are here about. But first, let me just explain two things. You have like transaction request and transfer request. So what we're going to be doing today is the transfer request. I won't spend much time on this. Or if you want me to make a video on creating a transaction request, you can leave a comment, and then based on the request I will see how I can make a tutorial on this. Let's just go to the overview. This is the overview of the Solana transfer request, a web app to mobile wallet, right? And the merchant, which is us, that we will be serving as the merchant, which is us, right? Our system will be the merchant system, right? Collecting payment. Create a payment link to the customer, scan a QR code, approve transaction on the wallet, send and confirm on-chain transaction to the Solana blockchain. So the wallet sends the transaction to the Solana blockchain, right? And find and validate transfer. So the merchant will also validate the transfer directly to the blockchain. I will explain this in the code. Here you can leave a comment, then we can see how we can go through these other steps, right? So create a transfer. I want you guys to just go over this if you have the time. So let me go to the code. This is the server. It is a node server. We have our index. We have like basic JavaScript strict mode on, and we're using Express, we're using cause, we're using .env and body parser. I believe you're supposed to know all this, the use of these modules, unless you're really smart to have made it to this point of the video. And we use calling Express, use our middlewares, and then we use a route middleware. Let's go to the route. Basic route, we have a generate pay QR route, which initialize the pay, and we have the confirm payment, which check for transaction status. Let me just go back to the overview of this. So so covering this section, a mobile app to a web app to mobile wallet. We have two interactions from a merchant to either the customer or the Solana blockchain itself. So this first one, which is the generate pay QR, this is the create pay link that does this section, allows the users to scan the code and approve transaction. And this is the confirm pay, which check if the transaction is valid or not. So let's go to but first let me just show you around. Yep, and the constant, we have a public key. So to get this key, you will have to go to your wallet. So to have this key, you will have to go to your wallet. It's either Phantom, so I'm using Phantom, and yep, so I'm using Phantom. You have to go to your wallet, make sure you set it on dev mode because we're currently on dev mode. So you're going to networks, you're going to developer setting, right? Is turn on test mode, and then automatically you'll be on Solana DevNet. Yeah, so if you see on my DevNet, I have 483 USD. I'll show you how to add Sol for DevNet, but let's just show you how to get this public key. So if you go under accounts and go under settings, and then yeah, if you expand this, or you can click this to copy, and then you'll copy your public key. If you see, it's the G2GQ, where is G2GQ and with XWVP. So this is the public key. And then let's go to this established connection. This is basic. It is testnet, or we can save it to mainnet, right? So there are 3 clusters in Solana blockchain as of the time I'm making this video. So yeah, we have DevNet, testnet, and mainnet. And go on the Solana Pay, we can see the init pay. Init pay takes a request body of amount, label, and message. So it checks if any one of them is null. If any one of them is null, then we don't want to continue the transaction. We want to end this transaction request. And yeah, but if they are all good, then we can get a reference as a public key, and we also get a big number from the amount. We encode it all in the URL that comes from the Solana library, yeah, the Solana Pay library, and then this URL is what we will send to the user, to the front end. So if you see under the init, the make payment method or function, you can see we are destructuring the URL and the reference, right? So yeah, once that is done, they converted. Okay, so once that is done, this converted URL is then verified and then converted into the QR code, which you see on the page from here. So yeah, I think that's it for this. Init pay for this confirm check, it does the same, but this time we only take the amount and reference, check if any one of them is null. If none of them is null, then we get a pass number from the big number, and then convert the reference back to public key, and yeah, we find that reference to get a signature. The signature is what we use to validate the transaction, and then if the transaction is, if there's a transaction response, meaning the transaction was successful. If there is no transaction response, automatically will throw an error, which means the transaction was not successful. And let me just and the server is on, and let me just refresh. We have our code. So let me explain what is going on. So I've explained this, that we send the URL to let me explain the script. So this is the front end part of the code. We have the make payment section. We are using a fetch request. If I could just go on the routes and open this on the side. So I'm making fetch requests to the generate pay. If I could have some screen real estate. Generate pay, which is this endpoint. Once we've made a request, we get the QR code, just like I explained under the controller here. We'll get a response of the QR code. Why did I close this tab? So I'm sorry, I'm not using mouse. So basically we get the generate pay QR code, which is this. Basically we make the request to generate pay QR code, which is this, and then upon response we then convert it to JSON, and then we get the reference and the URL as part. Check if there is a URL, and if there is a URL, we're using QR code generator from from Cloudflare. So we're using a CDN. This is basically a code that is hosted on another server, but basically they give us like a link to include it on our own code base. So we don't have to write the code for a QR code, but there are so many ways to do it. So we get a QR code, so this automatically assigns the code to this element, which is the QR code element. And then that if there is a URL, or if there is no URL, it says payment initialization failed, and check if there is a reference, and then we set this reference to session storage, just so that if we reload our page, we still get the reference, so that we'll be able to check if the transaction was complete, right? And then we also if there is no JSON URL, then we can initiate. If there is no, so this is when there is no JSON URL. If there is a JSON URL, we don't have to make a request. We don't have to do another request to this. The reason being is because we already have like the payment reference and the payment URL and the session storage, so we can just take it and present it to the user so that he can make the payment, right, instead of hitting the server again and again. So and we also check for payment, right? We check if this is the section we are in. We check if for confirm payment, we check if the payment is confirmed. So this is a promise. So yeah, basically a promise, just as it is a promise, you wait for something to happen in the future. Maybe someone promised you 100 leons, right, or $100 million, right? You are eager and waiting for that money to come, right? So that was the promises. It's actually design and waiting for a certain action to be completed. So let me just explain what happens in this set interval. So for every 3 seconds we are checking if a payment is confirmed, right? And if a payment is confirmed, so even currently we are checking, right, for every 3 seconds if a payment is confirmed, which is message, yeah. So if respond, yeah, this is it, the respond of message is not equals to not found, then we can clear the interval. Then once the interval is cleared, we can resolve, mean the promise has been met, right? Someone actually someone actually live up to their promise, which is okay. And then if there's an error within this request, then we can, yeah, basically log the error and clear interval and reject. So the promise is rejected. And the last method, which is so the uncheck complete, checks for if the transaction was successful. So as mind you, this is a promise, right? Whatever goes in here will go for as long until there is a reject or a resolve, and then we can hit this next line. So this can check forever without hitting this next line because we are using await and we are awaiting the promise. Yep, I think, yeah, once there is a fee, block time, signature and message, once a transaction was complete, we will then see if there's a fee. If there's a fee, then means the transaction was successful. Will then said it will just take you to confirmation page, and then yeah, it's basically telling you that the transaction was successful, or else it will give you the alert message. Let me just open my phone again and show you what I am talking about. So let me just open my phone again and yeah, try to make a transaction. If this can scoop over, yeah, let's go to scan. We scan on DevNet. Let me make sure that I am okay. So but first let me just show you my balance, right? My account. Let me just show you my balance. So we have 483.70 on ecofee.sol, and then I will be transacting from account 1 to ecofee.sol. Mind you, I actually use the ecofee.sol address, account address, as the recipient address for this let me just go on the modules, constant, yeah, ecofee.sol account address is what I use. So that's why I won't be using it to initiate the transaction, because it will be me sending money to myself, which is exactly what I'm doing, but with different accounts. So let me scan. Sorry, so this is so fast. Yeah, I will also let me just cancel. Let me go back. Let me scan. So this is when you not scanning the code. This is what you see. The reason why I go back is because it's so fast. Yep. And we'll say 50. So I will check to see why the balance, the amount that we passed is not showing. Maybe make an amendment to that, to the code, but basically you then you send the amount, you input the amount it's supposed to show, which I will do a check and yeah, maybe make a part of the video. You can subscribe actually to this channel, and then you will get notification once I make any video. So just send one soul, and you say copy in cause copy cause will provide. So yeah, you can basically receive your payment. So this is, yeah, copy in cause coffee pay in cause. So yeah, we are sending to ecofi.soul, right? And then the network is Solana DevNet. Transaction fee and network fee is as low as you count the zeros. And then sending the transaction, just look at the screen. As the transaction is sent, yeah, we have transaction complete successfully. So mind you, and once it is complete, we then yeah, take it to this page. Welcome confirmation that you have paid me the money and I've received it. So basically what you can do from here, if you want to implement this on your own server, what you can do from here is from this check transaction status, credit the user and make sure that their account is balanced. That if you want to create a payment system, so this will be the beginning of a tutorial series. If you want more on Solana Pay, leave a comment, and don't forget to like this video, and let's go.